Raymond Alan Brownley was larger than life. Was when he passed away on September 21, 2014. His family felt that his obituary should reflect that fact. Raymond Alan Brownley of Pittsburgh, Ingram Borough, Pennsylvania, died on September 21, 2014, at the age of 82. But his larger-than-life persona and trademark stubbornness will not be forgotten. He was born on December 30, 1931, in McKee Rocks, Pennsylvania. He was the youngest son of the William Franklin Brownley, born on October 28, 1894, in Newton, Virginia, and died October 1, 1977 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Lucille Beverly Fauntleroy Brownley, born February 14, 1896, in King William, Virginia, and died October 8, 1956, in McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. Affectionately known as Big Al by his family and many friends, he was a plumber by trade, a tremendous gardener, and an avid hunter. He also enjoyed fishing and proudly displayed the stuffed barracuda he caught back in 1965, much to the dismay of his wife, Agnes Bargo Brownley, to whom he was married to for 24 years. He despised canned cranberry sauce, wearing shorts, cigarette butts in his driveway, oatmeal, loudmouth know-it-alls, tobacco sauce, reality TV shows, and anything to do with the Kardashians. Big Al has many loves too. He loved his wife, Agnes Bargo Brownley, who preceded him in death in 1990. He also dearly loved his children and grandchildren. Famously opinionated and short-tempered, Big Al handed these qualities down to his daughter, Jill Ann Brownley of Phoenix, Arizona, a sharp-tongued character in her own right. Attending trade school to be a plumber instead of going to college, Big Al's strong work ethic and keen sense of wisely saving and investing his money lived on with his son, Jeffrey Allen Brownley, Jill Shankfinick Brownley of New York. He took extreme pride in his two adorable grandchildren, Derek Brownley 5 and Alexis Brownley 3, who affectionately call him Grandpa Al. He also loved milkshakes, fried shrimps, the Steelers, the Playboy Channel, Silky's Gentleman's Club, taking afternoon naps in his recliner, hanging out at the VFW, playing poker, eating jelly beans by the handful, and his hunting dogs, his favorite being Holly Hill Rip Van Winkle, a loyal beagle that answered to the nickname of Rip. Big Al was world-renowned for his lack of patience, not holding back his opinion, and a knack for telling it is like it is. He was highly proficient at cursing. He liked his four-letter words just about as much as four-wheel drive pickup trucks. He was a connoisseur of banana ice cream and a firm believer that ham sandwiches should only be served on Mancini spread. He always told you the truth, even if it wasn't what you wanted to hear. He was generous to a fault, a pussycat at heart, and yet he sugar-coated absolutely nothing. To quote Winston Churchill, he was a riddle, wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. His fondness of spaghetti western was only surpassed by his love of bacon, beer, and butter pecan ice cream. He fondly reminisced about good friends, good drinks, and good times at the Tri-Valley Sportsman's Club in Burgettstown. He was a longtime member of the Elks Club in McKees Rock, where he frequently bartended and generously donated his tips to charity. Quite a teller of tales, Big Al's elaborate stories often were punctuated with the phrase, "And that's when I kick his ass." He enjoyed outlaw country music, Wyland, Willie, Hank, Johnny. He was also on a first-name basis with the Four Horsemen of Liquor, Jack, Jim, Johnny, and Jose. Big Al has strong beliefs in which he never wavered. Dog shit makes the best garden fertilizer. Heinz ketchup does not belong on a hot dog. And PennDOT should be embarrassed of the never-ending construction, detours, and potholes on Route 28. With his love for gardening and passion for hunting, Big Al was locally sourcing his food for decades, long before it was the in thing to do. While a necessity in his youth growing up during the Depression, This passion for being self-sufficient was carried throughout his whole life. This depression baby was ahead of his time with being green, as evidenced by the approximately 87 "I can't believe it's not butter" containers stacked neatly in his kitchen cupboard. The biggest challenge was actually finding the butter in his refrigerator with 13 containers of leftover that all looked the same. Big Al was known for his timeless words of wisdom, including "Life is hard, but it's harder if you are stupid," and "Don't be a jackass." He had a lifelong menage a trois with his homemade chili and gas eggs. He had a great fondness for sardines on crackers, stuffed cabbage, which he lovingly called hunky hand grenades, making turtle soup and eating BLTs, and his famous holiday eggnog had enough whiskey to grow hair on your chest. Also known as the Squirrel Whisperer, he communicated with the local red-tailed squirrels and fed them peanuts out of his hand. He took pride in his time served in the Navy on the USS San Marcos during the Korean War, often waxing nostalgia that the worst meal he ever eaten was shit on a shingle, cream chip beef on toast. His mantra of a girl in every port often led to a fight in every port. With a stink eye towards organized religion, Big Al was more spiritual than religious and enjoyed reading the Bible before bed each night and watching church on TV every Sunday morning. What he lacked in stature, he compensated with an overabundance of charisma, charm, and feistiness. Big Al took fashion advice from no one. With his trademark white V-neck t-shirts and strategically coiffed comb-over, his comfort far outweighed any interest in the latest fashion trends. He was well stocked with white shoe polish to keep his tennis shoes looking pristine for prime rib dinners at Longhorn Steakhouse. In the last few years, Big Al's short-term memory loss was getting the best of him. On December 29, 2012, the day before his 81st birthday, he had a stroke that was a turning point in the decline of his health. His devoted feistiness and stubbornness had served him well throughout his life. And even in his waning months, he was a model of strong will and sheer determination right up until the end of his journey here on Earth. He will be greatly missed and fondly remembered by many friends, neighbors, nieces, nephews, and bunheads. Also preceding Big Al's in death were his older siblings, William Franklin Brownley Jr., Robert Fauntleroy Brownley, Richard Leonard Brownley, Virginia Lee Brownley Barnes, and Louis Beverly Brownley Kindle. Tremendous heartfelt thanks to the Stacy Shelford and Barb Casey, truly compassionate and exceptional hospice nurses at Via Quest Hospice, as well as Lenise Butler, who provided much more than just comfort for Big Al, but also provided a sense of humor, peace, and tranquility during his transition from his life into the next.